what happens on Thursday is the Artbeat. My name is Andrew Kagwamaiga, and we're here to talk about art, culture, and of course the performance industry, what has been going on, what has happened, and you know, all those nitty-gritties you didn't understand, but they need to be broken down. And I'm here with the original gang, Bagay Mugambachi.
Steady.
Life a tablet.
Etambula bulungi abantu tuli bafumbo abakyanoonya abamubali awo anyway subject of contention.
So I'll let you guys introduce yourself, which I'll start from.
Nathan at Luke Ryan, and happy to be here every Thursday of the week. I'm glad, and of course to be here to digest each and everything that has happened the past week and within the week.
Okay, Regan here, happy to be back. Yeah.
Mukozi ono natandika nambuuka so mwagala okula obuyinza bwe mwabuwanga ne muwa Andrew bwe hosting ne wano mwagala kumbuuka buuka. Well guys, my name is Patrick Sentongo. Good to be here.
Isaac Sejongwe, good to be here.
Okay, so this has been a very busy week, and you see, it's very funny when you have a busy week, but much of it is happening in the court.
Yeah.
Like can you just imagine? Like much of music has been happening in the court. So what do you think we should start with? Bruno K, Bebe Cool. Well, Bebe Cool has been around, but I think it's a case that keeps giving. And this week they went back to court after they failed to meet to talk, and they were given a date. And on that date, what I learned, they will inform Bebe Cool's team if it's okay for them to start investigating Mohanji's platforms, whether he has actually been making money Bebe Cool's music. So what do you guys think about this whole case as it's unfolding?
I think there's so many things that are not so clear yet about this case, but one thing that is clear so far is that there is more.
There's more to
this story than meets the eye. Yeah, there's more to this story than meets the eye. We are yet to find out so many things that might be very shocking.
Never find out.
We may actually never find out some of the things. Yeah, but I think it's going to take us for a while this year to actually, realize something out of this case. I thought when court gave the two parties, that is Mohanji and Bebe, when court gave them a chance to mediate between each other to sort of find a middle ground, I felt like that could be the easiest way out of this whole situation.
Like many of us thought they were actually going to sit and agree.
Yesterday I was actually shocked that Bebe deliberately refused to meet Mohanji. Then that gave me questions of, okay, now this could be bigger than what we expected.
I think this is personal. This is because the moment the court gives you a leeway to negotiate, to talk, I feel court...
They have seen that it can be handled out of court.
Exactly. But if one party denies that chance, it is personal.
Since you guys say that, well, we all agree, it's more than meets the eye. But these are two guys, they are men, and if it is personal and it's more than meets the eye, we generally can speak about the few things that which usually is about money, women, land. Hey, well, just us thinking maybe.
For starters, I believe Bebe Cool has performed on Comedy Store on a number of occasions without being paid. Like their birthdays.
Even in lockdown,
Alex Mohanji, Bebe Cool yabaye nambala kinalwanira Alex Mohanji. And then we all know Bebe Cool and Zuena Fungo.
So tasola bamukazi.
Simani. Then Alex Mohanji simufungo.
Zuena yali ebintu by'emitwalo ekyenda.
Anti kati ebyo nabyo omanyi
kuba musiramu wandigambye alinawo emyenge gino egy'ebbeeyi.
Omanyi more things are coming out of this case.
Ate asiba kati.
or ebya cheda juka twali murede mukisiibo
So it is said Zuena
netebo jukira tabirako yekka
Zuena
kubeerako abalala awo
were worth 900,000 which he never paid.
and Muhanji compensate
bamenya obutebe
So kati bamwe babedde kulu agamba bwe kiba kituufu nga Zuena banywa drinks eza sente ezo they are going to what to pay that money but if it is not true case egenda kukyuka
kamuze ekibuuzo if Zuena indeed ne team ye banywa drinks worth 900 because I saw 960,000 if that is the case who then should be the one to sue is it Muhanji or the venue Rosa Dimes?
No, it should be Muhanji because the Muhanji's lawyer says ezo damages it is Muhanji who compensated. Muhanji yasasula dda.
Let me ask.
So bamuteeka mu law so yeetaaga osasula.
Lawyer yagamba obutebe babumenya ne navaawo nga tebasasudde. But then a colleague of mine on the team of the Beko says Zuena bavaawo bulungi nga basasudde n'okusasula.
Because ideally
nayingira emotoka ya bbaawo ne basinga.
Ideally bw'oba baddeko
n'obutebe kibi ebyo byonna tewali.
Of course ekintu ky'obutebe kyandibadde kimuvinga kyandibadde kyajjadda out in the public domain. Two, bw'oba baddeko ku comedy store oba ebivule ebisinga bw'obeera ng'obukinze mu VIP wabeerawo ebintu ebikolebwayo either put in some money for the booking wabeerawo emyenge gye babeera balina obbawaako and all those things. So I'm really thinking kati Zuena yajja nga bakoze reservation bo nga bagambye tujja kujja tusasulirawo something tekiri clear around that.
Zuena nayo tumumanyi Zuena si omukazi ng'ono omukazi atera otambula n'abantu
okay for me I think
ajja strictly wabeera ye
oba with a girlfriend
obeerawo
we need to ask ourselves a few questions before we look at this case in detail because why now the issue of drinks because buli Zuena buli bebe wabadde nga ajja ku comedy store okay maybe si mirundi gyonna naye tulabye Zuena mirundi comedy store we have never had any issue of her not paying for drinks or any bills. Why now? I think this is just diverting us from the other case, which I think for me, if handled well and critically, it may set a precedent in the industry. The copyright case.
Then another case comes up of Bebe not paying Muhanji for featuring Kaima video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did they have a contract?
Again, why now? For me,
again, why now? Because I mean, even like the case of the why now is because even Bebe Cool, there is a very big why
now. Yes, actually, that's the first why now.
Some of his videos that Zayogera ko Zamia Kangesa.
Sijoka. Myaka mingi nnyo because mu kyeyajasa yali aga content we yenna meaning ko comedy stone yebo bali bakyali yebokodo kwa ya performing ra yonna byagala bali down
like when you think about it mulimu why now is need naye there are many precedences as no common case single going a mass one muyinza okutava mu compensation ya man ngeri gye nkirabamu cause ekisooka nabuuzaako abantu cause bw'oba ogenda ku roast and rhyme there is a contract you sign with them without signing it. Yes. Bakikutinbirawo ne bagamba
toyingira if you don't agree.
Toyingira bw'oba toagree nga kurekodinga nakukuba bifaananyi nti bw'oyingira
oba mu space
yaabwe
and they can put that content to
they can put that content up. So kyenjagala okumanya
does that apply to only the fans or the artists as well?
No,
everyone.
Because the artist is using their content. Nabo bagwa mu category
Kacholaba. I would refer you to a case of Bruno Mars and the photographer. The photographer suing Bruno Mars for Bruno Mars posting
the picture of himself. Yes,
without asking for permission
from the photographer.
Nti wano tulina situation eya olimba Bebe Cool luli mu video naye video
See,
ya Muhanji.
So before you go any further, platforms za Muhanji zonna zabadde akola gundi ya Roast and Rhyme ebirawo.
Yes.
Okay.
So webeerawo Muhanji is rightfully using the video. Video esigala yiye kyesimanyi batya kijja kuluyimba oli mu video eya Muhanji.
But bottom line from here, I think the problem, you see, both these two guys have big egos, and I think putting other factors constant on Sango and all that, but there is an issue of egos. I think there is an aspect of egos disturbing and making this entire case to lag a little bit behind.
Somebody posted something on his ex.
I think that's very dead.
No, it was yesterday.
Before.
He had issues with Bebe before. Naina agambo mani nze iwe yange kandi kakani namwita naina yesho Bebe najja nakisoti nagamba that
Actually, you sure if I remember well, you call a public
and
kind of.
nagamba muno naye bw'osalawo okugenda to with these guys at the end of the day ye engeri gy'abadde mu industry for long talina kyafiirwa okitegeera naye gwe kiki kyofiirwa nti sometimes you need to tone down ne oba gwe mukyama kakkana omulage muno yakoze eki yasinze.
Some people interpreted Salvador's tweet as siding in this whole thing, and it's
You know,
That's us back
whenever it comes to Salvador and Muhanji,
what they
goes
hide.
back to the long.
that fiction will always come back to
that's true. But did his submission hold any kind of?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, let me tell you something, you guys. Olaba, me, I will tell you something. Yes, Bebe Cola has contributed something to Muhanji's brand and what. Ne mukutandiko contributing ayasanga ni Muhanji aina wali. Let us stop. Chintu chiri omwana wa Chameleone olumuchi ayinja konaga guys. Temja tuba mugayi block because muri bakuru omukuru tagambwa akora. Salvador's submission with Bebe Conti. You see he ends that post saying he respects the top 3. Bebe Cola and what? Putting other factors constant. These so-called top 3. If they mess up, they deserve to be held accountable. If Salvador, this is what I'm saying, his point has a certain bit of validity. You know, it holds water in it. But the Chijakuwanti, if Muhanji feels this guy Agala is just breathing down on him, Kwagala Mulaganti, then he should also stand up for himself.
Let me interject something very small. I read Salvador's tweet, and to me, to how I perceived it is, Alitaga losing Mkwano, no guy.
Yes.
One, Mujasanga, I never jump with deals, Nataga losing. And of course, we can't forget the fact that Bebe Kulwa Kunyikia, Nolwa Lutalo, Chi, Tanawa Kuera Nagama man, no guy can put it. Salvador Kugamba, Volika Nakuiro Mukulu, name of Mukulu
Takwati.
Now, no, everything at Tagala Maya.
No, guys, if Muhanji has a case, he shouldn't be bullied into coiling.
Okay, I think at the moment what's going on is I don't think he's sure he has a case.
Exactly, yes.
Bina to be our intellectual property vizibu. I don't think he's sure he has a case. Muhanji.
I hope both sides have good lawyers.
Naye eri side yeri so sure no musango naye nga bw'oba otunidde intellectual property bulungi n'omutegeera those things bwe bisanga good lawyer nabo bayinza okwesanga tebalina musango.
Well, I think omusango koti
ogwa defamation ogw'omwenge bagambye banywa ebyokunywa si mwenge.
Omukulu ayogeddemu omusango mulala mwenge tebanayogera ku mwenge
baga ebyokunywa isitesa tolowooza
soda nga
Sure, n'abantu bazikaba.
Twali lawyer afanya ka video mu mukolo yayogera ko ebintu.
Kagenda okozesanga video zikola mu court.
Yafuna ka video nga mukulu kyayogera.
Lawyer wa
Muhammad yasobola
azuwena akola yanyomu mwengwa 900 kitegeera bitumu abirina
teyagamba mwenge yagamba
byokunywa
owase wadi
well court yayongedde bagambe I think it will be next week
after 2 weeks they gave
14th
because Bebe Cool did not sit down with Muhanji
2 weeks
so ezo 2 weeks Bebe Cool agenda zikozesa okuprovinga
for much too as we close this
nti oba content oba Muhanji yakozesa content we
but also he will also do an investigation if Muhanji actually made money out of his content.
Yes, but as we close this issue, for me, I think we have had so many mediations that they have pushed us into sweeping certain things under the carpet.
Yes.
I want this case to go all the way.
I'm also with you.
We uncover so many things that we may need to use in this industry to solve certain things. So I think we should go all the way. So
Anyway, staying in court, Bruno K happened. Bruno yawabira Black Market Records. Black Market Records yatukako ekiseera nga buli muyimbi waayo ayina obuzibu nayo.
Okujjako Daddy Andre.
Naye oba yayinako obuzibu nabo. Ne bamala ne bamuzza. So naye nga ye Bruno yali very vocal mu kubeera ne mu buzibu nabo, and most of the issues were surrounding his YouTube channel. Apparently, okay, according to the nasomye mu case, bamusayininga contract yali ya mwaka mulamba. Bwe bamusayininga, it was a 360 deal. A 360 deal atagimanyi bakusayininga ne bakutakinga on. Ne bakwambaza, ne bakuwa renti, ne bakuliisa. N'omwenge n'okucakalako
entambula yo
kati bw'okuba oluyimba lwo olusooka nga bo batandika okwesasula ate beesasulira mu buli angle. That's streaming platforms. Yeah, they take over. So Bruno agamba nti yali nabo bamusuubiza nti bagenda kukola ennyimba nyingi naye gye kyagwera bakola oluyimba lumu, and contract bwe yaggwako ne bataking over account ze ne batandika okujja ssente mu nnyimba ze yakuba after contract yaabwe okuggwako. So
before you go any further, Bruno K ayina ennyimba mmeka?
agambe so koleke contract manya omusango gugamba ennyimba zalinga 11. oyagala wakanya
tugende mu maaso.
Yes, they are recording after contract yaabwe.
After Omwala there's 11 songs that he
11 songs
wazijjamu sente mmeka?
ati yagamba oluyimba lumu lwokka lwakola
20.
Yes, kati agamba they infringed on his intellectual property era n'abatwala mu kooti era gye byaweredde nga awangudde nga bamu 130 million black market zeyina mu compensating.
I am going to simply say one thing about this and let it go. Two things. One, I congratulate Bruno okubanga yawangudde that case n'abaako n'akasente ke bagenda omuyirira. Two, I simply ask him, use part of that money to do music. He's a talented young guy. Okay, not young. He's a talented man. Agenda kole music. Because you see today, Bruno K got into the public space. As I think Gundi Jiajiram contest, it was musical. Today, he's doing very many things that are making him more popular. He's being known more for other things, both good and bad, than the music. Yet he's a talented guy, bad. You know. So Bruno akole music. Let him just do the music. Simple.
Black Market Records. Ndozaja mkasa towards lockdown. Ate bino byonna ebizibu n'ebize badde mu lockdown. First it was John Black. Era naye before I think they took in Nina Rose. Era kwegamba olaba eno label ebadde n'ebizibu byonna nga biri mu connected to much of taking over the YouTube channel and everything. Kuba kyekimu nekyayira ekyajjusaamu John Black.
No, the idea is, you see, Black Market Records is an international label. But Jawan, they found more of a virgin market. For they offer very many services. Where the problem came from, I had a chat with Daddy Andre, I think 2 or 3 years ago. Badja, abayimbi bano bonna signing, and they had different kind of arrangements with them. Abayimbi out of excitement, knowing this is an international brand, buying a sente, they got excited. They were getting into deals. That's why most of them,
there was so much.
I'll tell you, Bruno Katibabagamba oba whatever. Nti bamala ne basigaza channels ze ne babisigaza in the first place lwaki yali abiwayo if it was not agreed upon. Era lwaki takyasobola because Andrew, if you're the artist, you're Kenneth Mugabi bw'ojja ku managing nkusanga n'ebintu byongo ina logins and what. Why is it that when Malo Biffon has a record label you have no access to them? Meaning all these things were what? So Baba Tomeza, there was an element of excitement and doing things that that was the case.
I got a chance to talk before this whole thing came up even to Cedric, because naye abadde named
one of the
team leads at Black Market. At that time nga batandise ofuna ebizibu n'abayimbi. Cedric n'angamba obuzibu obuli ku bayimbi ba Uganda abasinga baagala the superstar life, but most of them are not willing to work for it. Nti record label mu nsi endala bwe kugamba nti mugenda kukola album, they actually think you're ready to actually work on an album. Abayimbi ba Uganda abasinga, this one of the things I remember him highlighting at that time, bali baagala to live the life more than actually recording. Like one for every person akola ku songs yakola ne Kanye West nga zaja kugamba for the entire time Kanye West jamala mu Uganda ya recording every single day yali mu Uganda. Like nyimba nezimu and imagine
he was in program you call album.
Yes, he was in Uganda and he was recording.
Not even the trip could stop that program.
Yes,
he came to work.
He came to work and he was working at the album, not scrapping. Ngane he spent all that time and that energy, and he paid that money. So abayimbi wana basinga like osobola omusaamu ssente nga gw'osuubira oteeka mu muyimbi n'amala omwezi nga talinye mu studio.
naye nga ekolola abaayo
bandali abaayo. The reverse is also true. The label esobola signing omuyimbi
kizibu
ng'omuyimbi ali ready to record. In the case of Keko, for example, when
that had a lot of drama around.
Her side of the story soon too.
Okay, her side of the story.
Guys, a level like Sony cannot be in a discussion around claims that Keko made against them.
But anyway, okay. The thing about say. It's not that the record label is not ready. It's about, at times it's about scheduling, which is more nti record label yamanya yinza okufuna negamba ono omwana tumuschedulinga recording album omwezi guno kati muba mutandise okukola Isaac na releasinga ka original song ku TikTok, Isaac nafuka hot cake kati ne basigninga Isaac nga baagala Isaac recording releasing nga akyali hot cake. Kati gwegwe bamuje mu cassette kati gwegwe bafuna olwa talent n'asobola ne bakupushinga bapushinge Isaac kuba Isaac is a hot cake alikaka sente kati bwe bapushinga
kyakolebwa ku muyimbi omukulu ku industry yawo mangu ddala ne concert nebaawo nga ate ababadde Isaac ngotunulira
tutunulira because olaba bino ebintu by'abayimbi nja kuddayo Andrew kyabadde ayogera this Rabadaba sijja kwekalira Rabadaba when Rabadaba signed to Swans Avenue
yakyusa olunyerere n'alukyusa
yalina oluyimba
possible wali manager
gonde
bwekiri yes so bwekiri was a big track without
big
a
mega
video.
jam
So Julius ne bamuyita ne bamugamba tulinawo ka budget twagala kushootinga ki video ya luyimba because at the time videos zali contributing kinene
by the
way yes so mukulu n'abagamba mbadde nsaba ekya video tusooke tukireke
mumpenzi
motoka you understand
mumpenzi
ga motoka so with the vision Julius had with the label okitegeera ne Benon ne bamugamba ne bafuna ka private meeting ne baga this is not the kind of artist we want
era janewe yakoma
video
bamala ne bagikola but
nga bamaze olaba
yes they never signed him okitegeera najja mu UG Records so mu UG Records era ekintu ky'emmotoka kyali ku mwanjo nnyo okitegeera it was one of kati manager onokolera emmotoka niweewa okitegeera emmotoka yamuweewa but because UG Records did not operate the way Swans operated okitegeera he got away with it nti eventually ne recording enyimba bikibi naye ng'olaba nti focus y'omuyimbi ddala nga kyoyogedde kiri nti lifestyle matters more than
speed
exactly okusinga lebo nti ebintu ye byayagala because he was looking at good life engeri gye baachivingamu success yaabwe balina emotoka biki kati nga naye alaba
that's why
ngamba ndi superstar mbeerawo ntya nga siina motoka
kyekirimu
okusooka
speed yemuko yagwira
yagwa
maybe I want to ask something Isaac after bwekiri enyimba ezo ezaddako raba ze yakola yazikolera mu UG Records
Nyiriri
even the collaboration with Ready and Wisdom
so you mean Bwechiri at that time he wasn't with UG Records?
No.
Bwechiri was still with Swang.
Bali Swangali. Before I think actually even Swang's formalized to become Rabadaba. He was a talented guy.
Rabadaba fumbled the paper.
They never signed him.
Back then,
the way Swangs used to operate, it was an open space.
It was
people used to come, chill around. Then when they vibe, they go to the.
It was more of a culture, new generation culture.
Hata wava nyimba nyingi.
For me, I think Rabadaba ya fumbling because you see, Rabadaba of the time, if you remember well, he was a hot cake. But even away from the music, yaina echintu that today this guy of Swangs has, Elijah. Yaina another appeal team inti Yaja. Ngaina this Lil Wayne kind of look.
Yes.
Naleeta nga siba wano bandana kugundinga. Ebintu ebyo bya trendinga.
And Lil Wayne was hot at the time.
At the time nga tewali it was not yet the digital new media age. Nenga ebintu ebyabikola nga people can relate him with that. For me I feel those kinds of elements plus the music would make him to even become more of a celeb guy. So ya family nganyonyo. Well, yagamba mwana wa mwana. Yasomera buddo Rabadaba. Is a budonia. The Green Hill. Kati tata we. They got issues. They got issues with the music.
I know.
The idea because Rabadaba was big, guys. I remember.
No, but I think for the time he did, the time they are in
I think Rabba yatukwatamu emyezi gyaffe nga 8.
Mbadde nsaba ate olemeki omusajja yabakwatamu emyaka
emyaka
yes
remember
Rabba yatukwata 2009
ndinako
10
I believe from 2007 up to 2012 those 7, 8 are Uganda's best songs.
Okay.
Music. Because remember, there was Rubber Dubber, there was
Ready and Weasel,
Ready and Weasel, there was Baboon Forest, which together. Unetufuna mba Coco Finger
ne individual Blue 3 after
sabo series
ne individual Blue 3 yao
Edikenzo na yewa Maro Edikenzo
Edikenzo jaleta ne waliwo
Michael Ross bonna bali mu area eyo
ne wabeerawo abaana abaavangawe emuswangali nga tomanyi ani ali part of
wala Mr X
awabiranga ba Mr X Gift of Kado nga babeera be it was actually very
yatukwata yakuba enyimba ezo nezitambula pablo chiri naita the other song of
oli mubi olunyiriri
you see
Kaimba ne Jackie
at the time that generation wajibaliranga nnyo because bajjanga they have a generation of yabavubuka kati nga ebiseera ebyo youth events zabanga nyingi nga wotegerera amanyi ga artist Rabadaba came I think it
with
was
a brief suitcase
I think it was Buzz 2010 11
I think that's the time when
yajja abaana ne bava mu
ngaina metallic case
ne bajja ne bamusanga ku gate you can imagine the big stars ebiseera ebyo I remember eyo show na Jericho Chameleon yaliwo nga kyali ne DJ Shirwat you can imagine that combination nga Shirwa kuba he was at the peak abaana ne baleka Chameleon ne AK47 ne Shiro on stage ne bajja ba welcoming Rabadaba ekyadondaawo nenga Rabadaba ekyamanyi kyatunda ayina bwekiri ne banda na wano kugundi
nawangula wadi zali 3
nakuba abaana show I looked at Shiro and Chameleon looking at the guy and we were like omuntu omulala gunakiri abako years later when Uganda ngachikola I think was Fake Famika we had with like I still have that memory in my head of how big you know abaana bakola that's how big rapper was so manager
omusajja ali leta
manager omusajja
yayo kuni moto
awe ya bazi ya jina
I think it was right kuziyanja na ekifo kyo kugula olujaji afulume yayita waggulu ne saperi ali lingi
one thing I remember about that generation yavamo collabo nyingi ddala ezo collectives
but then saba golden years za music industry buli omwe na memory that golden generation of Uganda's music industry.
But anyway Bruno K yawangudde omusango gwe bw'omungamba I could think it's a heist
omusango ogwe omanyi waliwo ekintu ekibeerawo abantu beyeebazizza mu musango gwe ba Eddie Kenzo baani bonna federation gye baplayinze I believe Black Market Records yatuuka ndooza n'ekivaako because if they have good lawyers Black Markets bayinawo nabo ki
They can
if it was a 360
yes by no case
that's why I'm saying I think it's a heist
I don't know what they are
and a record label like that I think as you said 130 million is more of implicit costs
but I think
they can
I
just
don't know what
let
their
go.
plan is after this case but if
do they have any plan in Uganda
they may choose
because it looks like they have more plans in Kenya at the moment.
I think they gave up on Uganda because of the unprofessional
Bruno has a landslide
at Bruno
well that's why they
yali akuteka ekikomi ekyawamu before abeeko ebintu byakola bataziza mu music
kati nze kankuweeyo
akola ebintu ng'omusajja byayinza okukola
if you have looked at Bruno K for the last few years
he's been here for 10 years
I don't think yes
Airtel Mr. Sayam that is 2015 that's 2015 those are 10 years
concert za 10 years nze mbadde ndowooza aliwo emyaka esatu
Bruno kyajjukira because Bruno why I ended up knowing a lot about Bruno is because a show gundi yajiwangula Sandra Subi ate nga nze nali Sandra mumanyi nga visual artist kati nagenda
the little girl called Ruth J. Wangula.
Eyo yali gundi. Eyo gy'ogamba yali rated next. The one you're talking about.
Bruno has been here 10 years. Era bamu ku bantu abayingira industry no 10 years abambo batunulira n'omuteeka wano nabo. I mean, because when you look at B2C, when you look at Wyke Bender, Airtel Trace Music Star Epas na ewe. Airtel Trace Music Star yaleta ne our cousin Dagi Nice. No, Dagi Nice yali. What I mean, mu media, mu mainstream. It was the one.
Dagi Nice. Twakola fenna kuswe.
Ngambye mainstream media.
Yali awademu.
Look, eyo gundi yemuyingiza do towakana, I'm telling you.
Aizo bayi yajiyingiza.
No. Dagi Nice.
Dagi Nice yali.
He was in clubs.
Ford obajjukira.
Kale bagayi tweyongereyo. So anyway, going forward,
the court case, let's summarize Bruno. I'm happy for him.
I'm happy for him. Trust me, on any other day I do not know how he would have won it. On any other day, that's why in Kugambia I look at it as a heist. He somehow went away with it. Let me just hope centers kwesa bulungi, because never bandwadde tebayinfringize ku intellectual property ye ezo ennyimba 11 ze yareleasinga after that contract. Sisuubira nti zandivuddemu
Catalogue ya Bruno Kelly mwennyimba.
I don't remember. I
naina covers nyingi.
Kugamba catalogue ye mwennyimba meka.
Kati myaka 10 mubabubakaki. Bruno mubaka myaka 10.
Is dropping up this I think in time in byonna biri ku copyright. Federation Kenzo Ngomukulu yalabadde jumping on board into these cases ngai bakulira bitu yabo abalwanira ki copyright bagende bafune ba lawyer batule ku mutwa kwa bebe kwa misamu mingi chali eyo mu court itamani. At the end of the day oja tujabera wano parliament ebereri
yatugamba yakulembera abayimbi ate copyright jasinga okulwanira.
Bruno Mwoyo obubaka myaka 10 mu industry.
Mbadde musaba nti emyaka 10 agikubye oluku industry. Kati emyaka 10 ejiddako George Wedde tetukyalina kyagikola yagiwedde gibaddewo emyaka 10. Ngacho wadde ugambye agende mu studio ayimbe because kye kyamuleta.
Do you agree he's a talented guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think music are for side.
Yes.
And I don't think
he has a big TikTok kind of discussion every day.
Anyway,
but guys, we are giving a lot
kyonna ekimukolera sente. Good for him, it's very good. Yawangudde. We need more cases where artists actually win. I hope it would have been more clear, but anyway, okweyongerayo Irene Irene yali managed 360 kireke naye nga going forward okweyongerayo bameka bana abajja kwa Icon twaliyo babiri.
There was a side event which happened the day before at the newly established or constructed headquarters of Richard Hand Uganda in Lunguja.
How do they look like, by the way?
That's their head office.
That's Bavude.
It's a state-of-the-art facility.
it was long overdue.
The problem gye batakola bali bateekawo lift waga madaala boy
Kizimbe kyabwe.
ekizimbe kyabwe 100%. It's a very beautiful facility with creators, especially filmmakers, have space there where they can have whatever they want to do.
So whatever Humphrey is doing,
It's actually, if you look at it well, it's suitable for creators.
No Humphrey bw'omulaba bw'otunuulira ekintu ekyo kyakola ekya Richard Hand azze akyusa emiramwa oba themes z'ekintu kyekyo over there nti yakitandika kiri mu sexual reproductive health, youth empowerment and what I think for the past 5 years era nikotunuulira social development goals and we started aligning in that direction katira n'akomawo n'atunuulira abavubuka interests zaabwe namanya bali mu content creation, film and what Humphrey yonategerako even had an interest of investing in music bwe mba mujjukira yakolako closely n'abayimbi abamu
nga wazibu
na ndowooza n'alaba
Was that the time they did what was
yes
it?
yalina promotion music so no kati bwe yalaba naga I think film is something kyasobola okuyingira because kyo kyali kikula music was already there and Zangala nagamba he can add a break.
Music is disorganized.
Yes. Nagamba mu film one more so also given the young people and what yali asobola okujja na jawo na yitirawa so I think he's doing some really good work for a long time. The film awards as UCC needed someone to to give them a run for their money. I think Icon is doing a good job.
So like I said, there was a side event before the awards, and I think even last year they attempted something like that.
Actually, they executive.
They always do that.
New headquarters, they might executive.
I don't know if as an executive. Yes, I was there, and the only disorganization I saw there was late coming. Time was poorly managed.
As always.
But that had an explanation because the main guests of that, it was called the Africa Film Forum. The main guests of that
was a
forum,
panel discussion?
Yes. Yes, it was a panel discussion. The main guests, that was Nigerian actors, Patience Ozoko, Ramsey, Noah, and
Kanayo.
and Chris Ume. Apart from Ramsey, the other three had arrived that morning at 5 a.m.
So they had to rest.
They were tired. And if you look at Patience,
and that's the time, by the way, for arrival from Nigeria.
In Nigeria, telling Aguniti hours in they are really aged, especially Patience. So they were you could look at her on that day. She was frail and tired. So they had to sleep for a bit longer. The forum was supposed to start at 2, but it started at as late as 5 p.m. So they were tired, but they finally came. Now waliwo embeera before embeera ng'ebintu bitambula emimiro gyegogola oba
but the arrangement was good. It was just a few people that were available, select few people who attended, filmmakers. Invited people. Most of whom were...
Why are you emphasizing on that?
Because...
Okay.
No, I didn't even mean that very day.
No, you were actually supposed to. I was one of the people who were invited, but I think you got other issues that you couldn't come.
So Icon didn't have an invite. So.
Yeah.
So our friend Humphrey, not Navimanya, Chamba, formerly of Corporate Image, was in charge of...
he's now at Richard Hand.
Yeah, he's here at Richard Hand or Sauti Plus?
Sauti Plus, the head, he's the head of Sauti Plus.
Yes.
Oh, he's the head of Sauti Plus.
He's a big guy. So anyway, the forum went on. The guys came. The Nigerian actors I've mentioned, they came through. And but before that, we had one of them, Chris Ume, who's also a Nigerian actor, director, producer. He took the filmmakers.
Chris Ume or Chris Ode?
Chris Ode, sorry, I confused him with another Chris Ume, but Chris Ode, yes, sorry. He took the filmmakers through a session. He wanted to understand how filmmakers, which was a very funny session, by the way. He had his own perception of how film should run, the ideal way film should be run, and investing, and how do you market, distribute, and at the end of the day make some money out of it. The stories he had from the filmmakers that had come there. First of all, it was shocked that you can do a film for less than 5 million. that shocked.
But you see, Chris Ode is from the new school of Nigerian filmmakers.
Yes.
When you talk to Rita Dominic, because I've had the chance of talking to her quite very many times, they made those films. Like, those ones made worse films than Ugandans, because I think they even shot like part 1, part 2, and part 3 on like under 5 million. And like they would find a way of prolonging it, and then they cut it.
But you have to
within
forgive
3
him
parts.
because you've said he's into the new generation.
But also you need to put it
And then
in
film has to keep growing.
Yes,
The
but
budget has
like
to.
But
he
also-
shouldn't be shocked.
Why
Why shouldn't he?
Why I think he was shocked is we need to look at the infrastructure here and where he operates. Yes. So the language he was speaking was not really resonating with the filmmakers that were there. The other thing that shocked him was that we still use DVDs in Uganda to distribute movies. He was shocked out of his skin that there still exists VCDs and DVDs here in our economy, our market here. Yeah, but he took the filmmakers, especially young filmmakers, through how film can be done, and especially how can you make money out of film as a young filmmaker. Yeah. Then later we had the big dogs, that is the other three I've mentioned, Ozoko, Panayo, and
Ramsey.
They had a panel discussion on legacy, longevity, how governments can assist in making film big. She gave an example of how at some point the Nigerian government noticed how big Nollywood was and how many jobs it was creating. They started supporting the industry. How? By giving small loans to filmmakers in Nigeria. You could pay at a subsidized fee. A lot of grants. They sent her generation, the generation that came after her. So many of them were sent to Germany, America to study sound. So many of those technical things.
So
how government supported. Yes, and she was saying.
Was there a government official?
None whatsoever.
Nothing. No one.
So where did that?
Sorry? No one, not even UCC was there.
No, not even like. Okay, that's one funny thing about UCC, but
I mean, competitor.
yeah,
She actually gave still.
but you see,
At the end of the day, it's contributing.
you see, at the moment, like, I used to beat down on UCC a lot when it comes to the local film industry, but I think I toned down when you notice it's not their mandate, but they are still doing something.
Yes.
And by that something, they've kind of created a platform, and then they kind of put it in your hands. It's up to you to use this platform we've created in a way that you feel like. But for me, the most interesting thing I think UCC has done is creating that there is a name. It's not a fund, it's a content development support program, where you can actually go and you write your project, the project you're trying to work on, you budget for it, and they give you money to do it. Now, for me, the way I look at content development support program,
Have they ever done it to
Karamoja was produced on that, Polikamuka Mazanhad was produced on that. There is a TV show that's on NBS, it has Tanya Kanyikindi, I can't remember the title, but it was produced on that. And there is the call for this year, I think, ended on March 31st. But you see, the funny thing about that is that filmmakers actually pushed UCC to create it. And if you hear how UCC created this, is they are getting this money from their partners, and by partners I mean MTN Uganda, Airtel, MultiChoice. Like, the money that funds this comes from them. So for me, that's where it comes to. Like, this seems like
budgeting in their annual budget.
yes. So for me, that's why it comes with like today's topic, like how this industry is not making a lot of waves when it comes, like, you know how you can say like music is making waves. Like, when you walk out here, trust me, you land into someone who knows Spice Diana. You're not guaranteed to find someone who knows Nana Kaga. and yet for some reason this industry is finding a way of organizing itself, looking for opportunities,
Structures is really
structures. In a way you can't
I
even
feel like they have
understand.
really organized themselves now properly.
Mhm.
The film
The
people.
film people.
So, as because I want this preamble to take us to the Icon Awards.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
Icon Awards. So,
Yeah.
so finally, after the forum, I had an exclusive interview with Patience Ozoko for the New Vision, where again we talked so many things. We talked piracy and how Nigeria tried to mitigate that. She said they have actually not mitigated it fully, but
Yeah.
they have found a way around it.
Yeah.
How to work with it. Back then, their issues were with distributors. The distributor would come, pick your film, and there was
then-
no other option. You
Yeah.
only had distributors.
Yeah.
They would come pick your film, and then they would promise to pay when the film makes money.
Yeah.
But then she said, to this day, there are so many films that she has never been paid for 30 years later, because those guys used to sell these movies, make millions of money. She said distributors got a lot more money.
Yeah.
than
But
filmmakers
couldn't they
did.
sign somewhere? Couldn't-
Okay, you could sign, but this is what would happen. I would tell you that I'm going to pay you when I make money. So I'll come with your 20 copies. I'll place them in my shop.
Yeah.
And then probably I'll sell one of those copies to myself. I go with it home,
Make copies.
make
other
copies,
of.
and then distribute them elsewhere.
And then tell you the 19 have failed to move.
And then I'll pay you for the one, and I'll tell you, like, man, you can see the 19. No one is buying
That's actually
them.
true, because she said the perpetrators of piracy were the distributors themselves, like
Yeah.
the marketers. They would resell and resell these movies. And then she said, even in this day now, we have YouTube and what? The same guys are still selling their movies now on YouTube. If you go on YouTube, you see so many of those old
true.
Nigerian movies, and they're making a lot of money.
Actually, you could find the very latest Nigerian movies on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they are still making money. But she said, she said so many things. Anyway,
So when is the interview coming out? I would love to read
the
that.
new video tomorrow in the beat.
The bit.
Yeah, just-
You're back.
Just- Please.
So how did the Icon Awards go?
But before you come in, the president Humphrey and Richard Hand are trying to set, I think, is a good one, because this platform is not just about Icon Awards, but they are actually trying to improve film by because last year they sponsored, I think, about 5 filmmakers. They took them to Nigeria, where they were taken through different master classes,
Yeah.
directing.
And
sound.
I also heard Humphrey speaking, maybe Andrew and Nathan, you'll expand more on that. He was speaking about a collaboration moving forward from 2026. I think Icon Awards will be happening in Nigeria. That kind of long
The,
term.
the journey of them, the journey of the awards is going to start in Nigeria.
What
So
exactly will be in Nigeria?
they are launching the awards from Nigeria. So chances are we might have a couple of Nigerian nominations next year in the next edition. That's in form of actors and films.
That's why you see the collaborations with Nigeria in bringing up those filmmakers each and every year.
There's actually some bigger names coming next year, but I'll leave that to Richard.
One thing I know is that when they open them up, you see, one of the things I like about opening up things is that people stop taking them for granted. The competition becomes bigger, and then the stakes are higher, because then you're not beating fellow Ugandans. Probably there will just be a award like Best Ugandan Film. But when the journey starts from there, it means there are chances Best Feature Film has about 3 Nigerian films and 1 Ugandan film nominated, and probably the other films are way better than yours.
And they have more numbers in terms of voting.
And they
My biggest issue with those guys, the Richard Hand people, is the Icon Awards, is that African film is way bigger than Nollywood.
that's
What I
so
was
true.
going to say.
That's so
So
true.
I don't know why they are, because this is the 3rd time.
But because of
Yeah.
Hollywood,
Nigerians.
basically.
Maybe this is just a start, but
this is we are in what edition?
This is the third edition.
Okay.
Of course, trust me, that's one thing that I've always wrestled with, like why Nollywood? Because personally, when it comes to collaboration, I believe it's easier for us to collaborate with Kenya than to collaborate with Nigeria. And then, of course, I believe South Africa offers a more organizational, like if you collaborate with everyone, South Africa gives you better organization, Nigeria gives you numbers, of course Kenya comes in as your neighbor.
And I think because we need to ask ourselves why are they collaborating with whoever they are collaborating with? For Nigeria, reach a hand for them, it could be the number.
Yeah, it could be the numbers.
Maybe they want to sell.
But
the,
what
the,
are you
the
going to
brand
sell
icon
to
awards.
Nigerians that they haven't yet
Maybe they're not selling it to
seen
Nigerians.
before?
Maybe they're not selling it to Nigerians. Maybe they are selling it here because they know the Nigerian arts market is big here
wider
than probably the other.
It's easier to sell a Ugandan film via Nigeria than selling a Ugandan film to
Via
Ugandans
Uganda.
directly.
Exactly. That could be the other reason. Probably they are looking at that market there.
But let me now pose this question, Andrew. Where have Ugandans failed, or where have Ugandan filmmakers or distributors, the film industry, where has it failed in fully concretizing their content and their ideology into the Ugandan masses?
Just give us the icon hours. That will help us.
Okay, okay.
Compared to last year was there.
I think I preferred last year's edition when it comes to the organization, it being swift, it being timely, it being a better production. I think this year either people came a bit late or the event started late, so it somehow dragged.
It was Friday.
Actually, people came in late, and even it started in late.
Yeah, so it dragged a bit. But when it comes to just production and the things like awards being given out, it was an amazing show. Though I'm trying to rush through that because I'm thinking about time and I want to tackle his question.
Yes.
When it comes to his question where the industry has failed, the industry does not own its distribution and doesn't own its exhibition. Nigeria, the distributors that started out as pirates eventually became legitimized distributors, and some filmmakers who failed to make very, very good films but somehow understood the market became distributors. So you have one of yours distributing your product, and then others branched off from distributing into exhibition. So they started building their own cinemas, and by building their own cinemas where you're like kanteke ekibanda ekiri yaddeko e kawempe, like it's that level, but it at least has softer seats. Like it's a cinema, but it's not Acacia standard, but it's a cinema. So they own their exhibition. In Uganda, we do not own an exhibition. Like we have to hustle with Statish to give us space. At a Statish omusasula per seat. Sayinza okucharginga omutwalo gumu kitundu per seat nga sinema yetunza abantu 150. Bw'okola calculation yo nga omusasudde akadde kamu kitundu bw'ogatako promotion naki, so obeera olina okufuba okulaba nti buli muntu ajja bw'asasula ogumu ekitundu akamu ekitundu kavaayo, but you cannot do that for a week because jukira screenings ezimu tezijja kujjula ng'endala. So distributor wajjiramu kwa oba ne distributor yateesa ne cinema nti bajja kwebala. So distributor bw'aleeta firimu eba ejja mmalawo week, oba ekoze ssente oba tekoze ejja mmalawo week. Naye tetulina distributor yo wano. So tetulina distribution, tetulina exhibition.
I have very many questions around the film thing, but maybe the last from me. You've been part of Icon, you've also been part of UFF. If you could just paint a picture or draw a contrast just between the two. For me, one of the issues I've always had is in the categories. Sometimes you'll find the people here, some people there, and and it's just 2 months away from each other, right?
It's because the market is
one,
wide.
we're not a wide market. Two, firimu zaffe tezaawukana nnyo nti firimu ezifuluma cut right now, the films that are coming out right now ze zigenda obeera mu UFF because UFF is happening on the award gala is going to be June 6th.
Early June, yeah.
June 6th. Nti kat firimu ezifuluma kati jjukira tezibadde mu Icon kati zigenda beera mu UFF. Yes. But these films that are coming out right now will be eligible for
Next year's
for
Icon.
next year's Icon.
Meaning from what happens in UFF, you can predetermine some of the results in Icon.
Unless we have very many producers in between UFF films. She won Best Actress for UFF. Best Supporting Actress for Icon went to Nana, still for Maria. But for the other one, it went to a lady called Nakayo for a film Soccer Hat. Like there are those differences.
But also the categories more like the same or they differ?
Most of the categories are the same.
They are the same, and then they just add in a little bit.
Yeah.
When they bring in like Patient of Kenya,
yes.
so they make sure they get that
Best African
yes,
Icon.
They add in on that very year.
But the others, for mostly the ones for Ugandans are the same.
Lukman also won this time around. Even last year won.
Lukman did not win.
This time.
Yeah, he didn't even have a film in.
Last year he won some accolades.
Yeah, one Lukman doesn't submit all his works. Most of the times actually he doesn't submit. Sometimes he submits because one of the producers Alemedeko he doesn't want to submit. There was a time he submitted a film because producer Alemedeko ku UFF naja nachichimira mu short. No, right now he started putting on a suit. Naira wajaja ajana agamba thank you natanga yes yajira mu short
with all the glitz and glamour that is associated with it.
Mu short ku UFF.
Another thing.
Yeah, always about thank you. Yajja mu short ne opens.
Another thing that I loved about this edition, I love the fact that the theme this time around, people respected it so much.
Yeah. The African dress code, yeah.
So nice.
Yeah.
The experience of black carpet to inside, like every time that you could turn, you could see the African print there. The Gomez's people were putting on.
I saw some.
They were I love the outfit of Esther.
Esther Nakaziba, yeah.
Did she win? Meanwhile, Esther Nakaziba was nominated in Icon this time.
No, she wasn't a nominee.
But she was invited.
But she was invited. She also presented an award, which is the other thing I want to talk about. Like you see, the thing we hate about UFF most of the times is that we go and we get to listen to sponsors make speeches, government officials because one, the very first award is probably given out by a minister of gender, then the second award is given out by state minister for what,
someone from UNESCO,
and then another award is given out minister for the youth, like, and then some you have some people that have never even done anything for film giving out awards. For Icon, it's usually actors giving out awards to each other. People within the industry, producers.
But I still about Esther, I feel she has done quite some bit. You see, last year I had an issue, and then when I was having a conversation with her, she was like, Patrick, these things, you need to create a body of work over time. I feel she has really done
Like-
a lot
like-
around that kind
like
of
right
special
now,
effects
it's
makeup.
Esther.
Where has it failed for her to get to those spaces?
Yeah, you know.
It's no, it's that's not it.
She's more like the face of
One, yes, she's the face of it, but Esther, most of
She's brands
Esther,
herself well.
Yes.
She's having projects.
Yes.
She's doing events.
most of Esther's works,
Omukulu n'akipika nnyo.
like I will explain what you, most of Esther,
Andrew would say the same if he was not in that position.
yes, most of Esther's work has been with TV series
Okay.
and short films. Truth is, I don't know if I can say they can afford her, because Esther doesn't really come off as very expensive, but she has worked with most of those. And what happens with most of our awards, when they come to makeup and all these other categories, they nominate the feature films. So because Esther worked on Prestige, amazing makeup, but Prestige doesn't get to those
I
categories.
get it now. We need to have Esther on this show. Let her understand this.
Yeah.
I think she's also having a show.
Yeah, she's having an
next
exhibition next month.
24th to 25th.
And by the way, when you look at what Esther, like,
Serena.
Esther just came into the industry like a few years back,
Years back, yeah.
and there were makeup artists that were doing what she's doing, but then she was very deliberate.
And
She
on the
branded
position
herself
Yes.
also.
to one extent that right now when you look for makeup artists in Uganda, her name comes before
Yes.
anything else. Comes to one of the things you feel like the film industry has done, it's like they are doing a lot of trainings, which I wish I could see with all our other industries, more so with music. Like when you see Andrew Wahura training like the next people to do sound, when you see Esther training more makeup artists, like Esther started alone. Right now when you hire her, she comes with a team of like,
She's in
Five
training. I
other
think it's
girls.
cohort 4.
yeah.
You've spoken about trainings. I want to give credit to, music. AD is returning. He wants to reopen Good Enough,
Okay.
and he wants to do trainings for
Who
producers.
is that?
AD
Ngoni,
Domba.
Ngoni.
Oh, yes.
And then videographers, video producers. They also started. It's Aronea. Who's this guy at Swans Avenue? I forgot him.
Mosoke
Mosoke.
Marvin?
Marvin, and then two other guys have also started giving trainings to.
Swans also has
Yeah, Swans has a-
But Musoke has been doing it.
No, he hasn't been doing
just
it.
started.
They just collaborated.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's very nice because at the end of the day, when you do trainings in your kind of specialty, most people would look at it as more like competition, but I think it even strengthens your kind of work. When I look at what Esther does, she has amplified even the girls that have gone through her. Actually, I think in this cohort, I'm even seeing guys who are now joining. But today, those young ladies and gentlemen are very proud of what they do because you know Nakaziva, how she speaks so passionately about her. So even these guys that are being trained, they now feel so passionate, proud about.
And even when she's talking about those girls, like, she's like, oh, these are my girls. Like,
so I think it will be the same with videographers, video producers, and all those. If training is done, there is an entire pool, and I think even business-wise, because imagine if Marvin Musoke with whatever he does, but training Abana, first of all, the very first products will work with him, and before you know it, and you have professionals. At the end of the day, mtu setting any price. You know,
But we have standards for Uganda's film industry.
the producers are trying. What do you mean by standards, though?
Okay, so let me break it down like this. When you look at what Nigeria is pushing on YouTube, the films that young filmmakers now are making on YouTube, I think every time I go to YouTube, I have to see okay, maybe it's the algorithm that YouTube uses, but I have to see a Nigerian film, a new Nigerian film on YouTube almost every week. And you see that the pattern is the same. The quality, the picture quality, the sound, they are positioning themselves in a certain way.
I have an issue with some of their movies online. The storyline
Is the same.
Yeah, the storyline is the same.
Storyline, yes.
But-
I also have that.
But also the issue that you
quality-wise-
keep seeing weekly might also be an issue
But
of
quality-wise,
what you watch and the
That's
system.
what I said.
quality-wise, it's just the algorithm.
Yeah, the algorithm.
Trust me, every country in the world.
I watch a lot of Ugandan Palwood guys who do local films, and you know, and also the system brings me that. And I actually wanted to ask you a question. With the coming of the Icon Awards, the UFF, and all these things, it is targeting a certain kind of filmmaker. All people in the film industry. Where have our people from the Lumbuji, what are those guys of
Wakaliwood.
those guys abakora movies I was talking to some of those young filmmakers bakola says techno iPhones never shooting everything. Where are those young passionate people? Because when we look at the people who are nominated in the UFA fund, by now everybody by support, where is this young
Like I think one, at the moment Uganda is no longer at the level where equipment is our biggest problem. Like trust me, even those guys downtown, ogenda musanga ne Canon at least. Atoja musanga ne Canon 6D, which captures HD and its full frame. Nti the person who is trying to address the one digambye that question of muntu wa wansi asinzo ja addressing obulungi wano abadde Nana has been very deliberate about making all her films very local in Luganda and always casting from there. And the reason why she's doing that yagamba nti abantu bali balowooza nti bw'obeera shooting asimanya downtown or uptown, because those used to exist, nti balowooza you should tosobola casting eno togenda kuzanya mu Luganda. Kachagezaawo kola is kuba quality work in local languages. Abalage nti no, we can actually work together. So time is going to come when we no longer have that. Chireke
awards. She said she's going one day she's going to bring Grammys.
We've heard that story so many times from different people.
Nenga, anyway, a lot is happening with the industry, with the local film industry. I think it's time we let this go. It's time we let this go. Nenga, thanks very much for watching us, and thanks very much for keeping it on the Artbeat. It's been good hanging out with you guys. My name is Andrew Kagwa and
Isaac Sejongwe,
Nathan Ryan at Look,
Patrick Sentom,
Regan Sepija.
yeah, let's meet again next Thursday, same time, same place.
Rabadaba mchia